2025 didn't go as planned.
535 marks.
बस थोड़े से मार्क्स से रह गई। बायोलॉजी ठीक था, केमिस्ट्री भी, पर फिजिक्स वो फिसल गया। इस बार पढ़ाई नहीं, तैयारी करो, वो भी स्मार्ट तरीके से, क्योंकि इन्फिनिटी लर्न लाए हैं अट्रेया, इंडियाज मोस्ट पावरफुल नीट रिपीटर्स प्रोग्राम विद P2CB, जिससे फिजिक्स पे होगा डबल फोकस।
Don't just make it your last try, make it your best one yet. Join Infinity Learn today.
Hello, good afternoon, my dear students. Welcome to one more amazing session from Infinity Land. This is Suresh, Faculty of Chemistry. How are you all? Please confirm you all able to can hear me, can see me. So use the chat box for the interaction. आज हम चर्चा करने वाले हैं नीट निर्माण प्रोग्राम में केमिकल बॉन्डिंग, उसमें ज़्यादा टॉपिक्स है, उससे आज मैं लेने वाला हूँ इलेक्ट्रोवैलेंट बॉन्ड, दैट इज़ योर फेवरेट आयनिक बॉन्ड. So the total chemical bonding has a lot of impact in the total chemistry in the NEET examination preparation. So those who completed your NEET examination, all the best, and this session is especially meant for those preparing for your NEET 2026 and also the droppers as well as those preparing for 11th and 12th also. This topic is going to be so much important. It is the backbone of your inorganic chemistry. Right, bachcho? And before going for the student, I just want to take you to Atreya program. Infinity Land by Sri Chaitanya Academy launched a program called Atreya program. This Atreya program is the best program for NEET repeaters. We are going to transform you from I didn't do to I will do it. Yes, crack your NEET examination. Introducing Sri Chaitanya Academy by Infinity Land Atreya. This program is India's most powerful NEET repeaters program. Bacho, it's very important because when you go for your NEET examination 2025, though you want to prepare for the NEET 2026, you have to repeat karne ek saal drop karne ke baad. So owing to the experience of these physics, chemistry and biology that happened in the NEET examination, physics and biology ठीक ठाक and chemistry also okay, and physics slapped like anything to everybody, है ना? So we want to resolve this issue. It is not your problem, it is the problem for every student preparing for your NEET examination. For that we just given P2CB program where you can see physics twice a day, chemistry along with biology. And you say Atreya, India's most powerful program, repeaters program. And in this revolutionary NEET preparation with P2CB program, double focus on physics along with chemistry and biology. Link is there available in the pinned messages and description box. You just click it and you can find the course details. And just before going into the concept, just wait for 2 more minutes, I'll finish this promo. And the course details, the batch already commenced in May 23 and upcoming batches are already scheduled, and you can enroll in the upcoming batches also. You will be taken as a new batch, and the classes commence from Monday to Saturday. Sunday का छुट्टी है, उस दिन आप टेस्ट भी ले सकते हैं, and हर क्लास का 90 minutes duration था, and it is going to be a 3 sessions in a day, and उसमें 2 concept session होगा, एक practice session होगा. And you can say classes per week, 18 classes per week आपको दिया जाएगा. इसमें double practice class for the physics. Yes, you want to do the better in the physics, you have to do hard work, and we are coming to a scientifically designed program where physics is given inception in such a way that physics is going to be the normal subject for your NEET examination. Physics preparation is on us, and you can see there are 465 classes in the total package, and you have 240 DPPs and dedicated practice hours, 120 plus hours, and also after session you will be given the session notes at the end in the PDF format, and batch size for the practice session, it is very important, just 20 to 25 students per a batch, so that you will be having an opportunity to discuss with the faculty and faculty can have the customized doubt removal sessions as well. And this batch, you will not be in 1 in 100, you will be in 1 in 20 or 25. That gives you personalized attention, and this is a golden opportunity, bachcho. And the total 11th to 12th syllabus is going to be covered. So mine is done from the promotion of R3 program. And at last but not least, those who complete your NEET examination well, and it is all the best. And those who are not completed, you join in the repeaters program, and you can join with us on the YouTube platform, and you can have the total NEET long term program. And if you complete your NEET examination, just click the link available in the description box and just enroll yourself there. You will be assessed whether which college is probably you are going to get it, and it is also a very good program for you. And moving ahead, we are in a chemical bonding. In today's topic of discussion is going to be Kossel-Lewis theory, electrovalent bond, that is the ionic bond, and Fajan rule. And the total chemical bonding is the backbone of your inorganic chemistry. So here I am going to take, for today's class, I am covering the electrovalent bond. The bond is of two types, either electrovalent and covalent bond. And for the covalent bond, अगले सेशंस को VSEPR theory भी, BT and molecular orbital theory भी आपको दिया जाएगा. Hi, you have a question, Sheikh, you please ask us. If it is related to the current context, I am going to give you the answer. And let us see this particular chemical bonding, what are the topics you can see. Today I just want to talk about ionic bond, factors forming ionic bond, and properties of ionic bond. And this is your today's topic, Sheikh Vidad, and I just expecting your question to read. This is the chat box, and you can use the live class, and this is a live interactive session. It is not a radio transmission beta. So if you have doubt, you can ask a doubt by using chat box, only academic and subject related things. Okay. And one more important thing, a lecture you want to have from an expert faculties, like when the Infinity Learn from me like this, you have to go to any coaching industry by expending a lot of money, and you have to travel a long way. But in the YouTube platform, we are giving you for the free of cost. We don't expect anything. So we are trying to do the best of the students. आप भी तो थोड़ा सा भला करने का कोशिश करो. Like the session, share with your friends. इन लोगों को भी फायदा होना चाहिए. And please subscribe to Infinity Learn NEET YouTube channel. And Sheikh, and please like the session. I just those who are in live session, please click the like button, so that like button I'm able to visualize from my side, and I will be very happy. Class आगे खत्म रखने के लिए. Okay, बच्चों, yeah. You want to say something, Miju? Okay, please like the button. And moving ahead in the periodic table, this Kossel-Lewis theory I want to say. What Kossel-Lewis theory says. I'll come back to the periodic table, and let us see. These are the topics. Khardiya like, thank you very much, Hitesh, thank you very much. You see, these are the overall picture of chemical bonding. You have Kossel-Lewis theory, that is Kossel electrovalent theory, and ionic bond, that is your electrovalent bond, covalent bond. ये covalent bond explain करने के लिए आपको shape का वजह से VSEPR theory दिया, and valence bond theory भी, and hybridization concept. I have a super awesome tricks to say the hybridization, and definitely most probably, thank you Hitesh, most probably you are going to get molecular orbital theory, and this molecular orbital theory gives a lot of impact and hydrogen bonding and bond parameters. If you are good at these bond parameters, na, total p block element is going to be in your hand. And I want to take a special and separate session for this bond parameter, ताकि आपको पता चलेगा inorganic chemistry handle करना है कैसे. Okay, Sheikh, I'm actually in the class 10, so can you tell me how can I tighten the grip on the subject chemistry and how to prepare for the NEET examination from today. And bachcho, and this particular session is for those students right now and preparing for your NEET examination. And of course, this is the topic of chemical bonding, and it is required right from your lower standard. And take this, you never consider yourself Vidad, and you consider yourself as your 11th and 12th standard, and you prepare along with the other guys, and you are going to excel the moment you reach to your 12th standard. That I want to say. Take a pen and paper, everybody, and write noteworthy points, and you can do the best. Okay, let's go ahead. Lewis theory, electronic valency of theory. You'll go back again here. When you see this entire periodic table, I can see neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. These elements has 8 electrons in its outermost shell. ताकि इसका इलेक्ट्रॉन कॉन्फ़िगरेशन की वजह से they are stable. And you see helium just has 2 electrons. So अगर 8 electrons होगा तो क्या होगा बेटा? It is stable, that is said to be octet rule. And if it is said to be 2 electrons, you said to be duplet. दोनों stable होगा बेटा. These two are stable. And which is more stable among duplet and octet? You guys tell me which is relatively more stable, or equally stable, or octet is more stable than duplet, or duplet is more stable than octet. I want to hear from you from the chat box. You just give me some inference. So in my class you are going to get new things, mind it. So octet ज़्यादा stable होगा, duplet ज़्यादा stable होगा. हितेश जल्दी बताओ. When it comes to the octet and duplet, बच्चों, and it is very important, duplet is more stable than octet. Duplet is more stable than octet, मान लो. And it is very important noteworthy point. So only these elements are going to be stable according to Kossel and Lewis. And other element, you see, all the elements in the periodic table except noble gases has less than 8 electrons. So they are unstable. And they always wanted to make 8 electrons with respect to their electronic configuration in the outermost shell, and they are going to get stabilized. And they can lose electron, they can gain electron, and they can share electron as well. If they lose electron or gain electron, they are going to form ionic bond or electrovalent bond, and the share electron, they are going to form a covalent bond. That is very important. Stay tuned. And actually in the YouTube channel, you guys have, if I attend the class in the YouTube channel, हमको NEET निकलेगा ही नहीं. Now undoubtedly I can say, if you attend for the NEET examination and our YouTube channel lessons, and it is proven so far both for JEE and the NEET examination, those who attended the classes regularly and followed our advices and guidelines, they cleared their examination. I am telling you truth, sach mein, and you will be the next for the next examination. All the best, my dear students. Let's talk about this. In the periodic table, you have the formation and the cleavage of chemical bonds. But so you can say, when an atom and atom this and this, when these two atoms comes together, there will be an attraction force and there will be a repulsion force as well. An appropriate chemical bond is going to be formed when attraction forces is overcoming the repulsion forces. Experimentally, it has been found that the magnitude of new attraction force is more than that of new repulsion forces. And it is experimentally proven when you see, as a result of the two atoms approach each other and the potential energy decreases. I just want to say here one important thing. Why do atoms participate in bonding? So atoms participate in bonding for 2 reasons. To attain stability, thereby decreasing the energy. So I want to say here, stability इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू एनर्जी. जिस सिस्टम में एनर्जी कम है, इसका स्टेबिलिटी ज्यादा होगा. सो द एटम्स ऑफ वेरियस एलिमेंट्स पार्टिसिपेट इन बॉन्डिंग टू डिक्रीज देयर एनर्जी so that they increase the stability. So that I just want to say, since the energy get released when the bond is formed, always you just see when the atoms are free, they have high energy. When the atoms are going to join together, they are going to get stability. So that more stability means less energy. So atom from the high energy to low energy मिल गया. So what happened? Energy is released. मैं क्या बोलना चाहता हूं, अगर bond form होगा तो energy release होगा. When you break the bond, energy is required. So formation of a bond is exothermic and breaking of a bond is endothermic. This is the best trick to memorize. Actually, this kind of things you always have a little bit of confusion during your examination. Come out of this all confusions and you can do the best. मैं repeat करना चाहता हूँ एक बार. When bond is formed, energy is released. When bond is broken, energy is required. So everybody, Hitesh, Mijju and Vidad, follow it. And you can see the energy is released is called as a bond energy. So the amount of energy that is released when 1 mole of a bond is formed from its free atoms is said to be a bond energy. So the energy, the fancy name for the energy in the thermodynamics is given as enthalpy. You can also say it is enthalpy. Enthalpy क्या होते? As of now, you just memorize this. Enthalpy is a fancy name for the energy. So I am going to explain you what is enthalpy in the thermodynamics. ठीक है बेटा? And when you say hydrogen gas, in the hydrogen atom and hydrogen atom दोनों मिलकर hydrogen bond बनेगा, इसी के वक्त में 435.8 kilojoules of energy is released. Do you have to memorize this? बिल्कुल नहीं. So for the sake of example I have given, you just follow that. Okay? बच्चों आगे बढ़ते हैं. So very important point here, Kossel-Lewis approach. So Kossel-Lewis has given a theory, that is an octet rule. That octet rule is systematically explained on the basis of the electrons present in the outermost shell of an atom are called as a valence electrons. Valency अलग होगा, valence electron अलग होगा बेटा. So जिस electron configuration लिखते हैं ना, you can see carbon, it is going to be 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So this is the electronic configuration. इसका मतलब क्या? First shell में 2 electron है and this is the second shell में 4 electron है. So valency of the carbon is 4. Number of electrons in the outermost shell. So the electrons present in the inner shell of the electrons are called core electrons or kernel electrons. So electrons are 2 types. Either valency electrons, another one is core electrons. So this is the atom and you have the various shells. When these electrons are present is called as a valence electrons and these electrons are called as a core electrons. Okay, so core electrons. So the core electrons do not participate in bond. सिर्फ valence electron bonding में इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा. Only valence electrons are going to be participated. The nucleus along with the core electrons from the positively charged kernel, and example sodium atom has only 1 valence electron and 10 core electron. क्या? Sodium is going to be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1. ये ही valence electron होगा, ये सब core electrons होगा. So understanding this is right from the fundamentals. As you know it pretty well, if you don't know it, learn it. And if you are very good at your fundamentals, you can do the best, because NEET examination is a race. In the race, you want to do the difficult level of questions. To crack this difficult level of questions, you should be so strong at the fundamentals levels, and you have 1 more year to write examination. So that this is the right time. Follow with us and I am going to make you fundamentally strong so that you can do the best. Believe it us, and your NEET result will be on us if you follow regularly with us. ठीक है बच्चों? Those who are in the live session, please like the session and share with your friends and subscribe the Infinity Learn NEET YouTube channel. So talking about the valence electrons are responsible for bonding, and the core electrons generally do not participate in the bonding. So chemical reaction का मतलब क्या? Bonding होगा, right? And also all the elements in zero group has a stable electron configuration. जो भी मान को helium has duplet configuration, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon is going to have octet configuration. And here the except helium atoms of noble gases have 8 electrons, that is said to be octet. Octet means 8 electrons in this valence shell. And its outermost shell, it is suggested that inertness of the element is due to this octet configuration. Even though helium has 2 electrons, it is highly stable and chemically do not participate in the bonding. It is called 1s2 is called as duplet configuration. मैं क्या बोलना चाहता हूँ, duplet configuration का stability octet से ज़्यादा होगा. So, in the entire periodic table, helium is said to be the most stable atom. Most stable atom. And you can see here in this, all the elements other than zero group elements, का मतलब क्या group 18 का बेटा. So, are chemically reactive elements and they have the less than 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So, when they have the less than 8 electrons, generally every atom has a tendency to acquire 8 electrons in its outermost shell. For that it will do, it will do anything. And this stability of these 8 electrons in outermost shell is said to be an octet rule. And they have always a tendency to acquire 8 electrons to get stability. That is called as octet rule. How it is going to get 8 electrons? Hi. Now you are going to get ionic bond. So to get these 8 electrons here, it may lose electrons and it may gain electrons. It may share electrons as well. You want to lose or gain, it is going to form ionic bond. You want to share the electrons, it is going to form, it is a covalent bond. Covalent bond, right? So, we find, thank you, and follow this session with a lot of enthusiasm, and let us talk about the ionic bond. Can you give an example for an ionic compound? Can anybody in the chat box can give the example of an ionic compound? So, you can take a rock salt, NaCl. So, Na plus hoga and Cl minus hoga. So, what is ionic bond? Ionic bond is a strong electrostatic force of attraction between a cation and anion. Is called as an ionic bond. So, when you talk about this is a cation and this is an anion. So, in the school you might be given a definition like a bond formed by complete transfer of electron. एक एटम इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज करना है, वही इलेक्ट्रॉन और एक एटम गेन करना है. So that is a process. During this process, the atom which lose the electron is going to form a cation. Positively charged ion is called a cation, and the other atom is going to gain that electron is going to be an anion. Negatively charged ion is called as an anion. Once this cation and anion that is formed, there should be attraction forces between the cation and the anion. Electrostatic force of attraction. It is a physical force. The electrostatic force of attraction that exists between the cation and anion is called an ionic bond. And this ionic bond is formed by the complete loss of electron from the valence shell of the losing element and into the gaining element. So, when you see this, the ionic bond is formed by the transfer, complete transfer, I just want to say, complete transfer of electrons from one atom to another atom from the valence shell, not from the core shell. And so, to form this ionic bond, one should lose electron. So, we will talk about the complete phenomenal nature of the how it is going to lose and what are the factors that makes it is to lose. The another one, what is the factor to gain and what is gained. Hi Ramesh, how are you? So please like the session. Ramesh, like the session. Now let us talk about the electronegativities of the elements. Condition क्या होगा? Electronegativities of the elements in A and B, the nature of AB formed. So every element has its own electronegativity. Electronegativity is an elemental property. And if the great electronegativity difference is there, you can say if the electronegativity difference is very high, you can say there is going to form an ionic bond. And if you say the electronegativity is very low, it is going to have a covalent bond, and it is equal, you can say it is going to form a polar covalent bond. Let us talk about a metallic bond as well. I just want to say if the electronegativity difference between these two elements is greater than 1.7, there should be a value. So ताकि इसका फॉर्म होगा ionic bond, and if it is electronegativity difference between less than 1.7, it is going to form covalent bond. You take anything from the periodic table, it is a fundamental rule. You take chlorine 3.5 and you can take sodium, and the difference is going to be so less. And let us see the difference also. Here you can see the difference in the values of the electronegativity should be greater than 1.7 ताकि इसका A B का बीच में जो bond होगा ionic होगा. And atoms of the elements with a low ionization energy has a tendency to form cations. So low ionization energy का मतलब क्या? ये तुरंत इलेक्ट्रॉन निकाल सकते हैं. So they can easily lose electrons, so they can form cation easily. And you can see the favorable factors in the condition for the formation of ionic bond. And there you are going to see a very good questions from the NEET examination. So to form a cation, to form an ionic bond, you need to form first a cation or anion either ways. So these two are going to form it simultaneously. Dear children, in this case, first let us talk about the formation of a cation. In the formation of a cation, पहला जो point is generally the metal atoms lose electrons to form positively charged called cations. Yes, in which point you don't understand? कौन सा point आपको समझ नहीं आ रहे? आपको बोलने तो यही slide में. आज ये slide में हम चर्चा करना वाला है आयनिक बॉन्ड फॉर्म कैसे होगा. जो फैक्टर्स आता है ए फॉर्मेशन ऑफ आयनिक बॉन्ड के लिए, पहले कैटायन फॉर्म करना, बाद में आनायन फॉर्म करने का देखना है. जो कैटायन कैसे बनता है? इलेक्ट्रॉन निकालने के बाद एटम से कैटायन बनेगा. ओके, एसिन. सो व्हाट आर द कंडीशंस टू रिमूव द इलेक्ट्रॉन? जो एटम है ना, इसका सबसे बड़ा साइज होगा, सो इलेक्ट्रॉन जल्दी निकाल सकते हैं. ठीक है बेटा, दैट्स व्हाट आई वांट टू से. जिस एटम में आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी कम होगा, इलेक्ट्रॉन अच्छा तरफ निकल सकते हैं, आसानी तरह से निकाल सकते हैं. ओके, सो जनरली मेटल एटम्स हैज अ ग्रेट टेंडेंसी टू लूज इलेक्ट्रॉन्स एंड कैन फॉर्म कैटायंस, and non-metals has a great tendency to accept electrons, forms anions easily. बच्चों, an atom with low ionization energy loses electrons easily and thus can form cations easily. Let us talk about ionization energy का order. Lithium, sodium, potassium, रुबीडियम एंड सीजियम. इसमें लिथियम ग्रेटर देन पोटेशियम, रुबीडियम एंड सीजियम होगा. सो जिस एटम का आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी कम से कम होगा, ये कैटायन फॉर्म करने का मौका अच्छा तरफ मिलेगा. ओके, ऐसे बेटा यू सी ईज ऑफ फॉर्मेशन. लिथियम प्लस के लिए, सोडियम प्लस के लिए, पोटेशियम प्लस के लिए, रुबीडियम प्लस के लिए एंड सीजियम प्लस के लिए कौन सा अच्छा तरह फॉर्म हो सकते हैं? रमेश, हु इज गोइंग टू फॉर्म कैटायन इजीली? आई वांट टू नो फ्रॉम यू. यूज शॉर्ट बॉक्स डियर, एवरीबॉडी यूज शॉर्ट बॉक्स. सो सीजियम हैज अ लोएस्ट आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी, कैन बी इजीली फॉर्म्ड. So low ionization energy is the criteria to say whether it is easily formed or not. And another parameter, low charge on the ion. I just also want to say large size. Large size. Atoms with large size can easily lose electrons and can form cation easily, so that the small ions cannot form cations easily. ये example आपको पता चलेगा, right? Talking about the low charge on the ion, जिस ion में कम charge होगा ये अच्छा तरह form कर सकते हैं. So let's talk about the cation with less charge on it can be easily formed as compared to the cation with more charge on it. Talking about aluminum 3 plus, magnesium 2 plus and sodium plus. या मैं क्या बोलना चाहता हूं, सोडियम प्लस सोडियम से फॉर्म करने के लिए आयनाइजेशन 1 इस्तेमाल करना, मैग्नीशियम 2 प्लस फॉर्म करने के लिए आयनाइजेशन 1 आयनाइजेशन 2 भी इस्तेमाल करना. To form aluminum 3 plus, it has to use ionization 1, ionization 2, ionization 3. So you have to form Al3 plus by ionization 1, ionization 2, ionization 3, which is energetically too costly process. So formation of Al3 plus is so difficult as compared to Na plus. Hope you understand? Clear? And the generalized phenomena, you can say magnitude of the cation charge in the ionic nature, that also comes into the picture. Fajan rule में आपको पता चलेगा. And I want to say here, large atomic size, the atom with small size has more ionization energy, and these are all the noteworthy points. Those preparing for NEET examination, quickly write so that it is going to be with you. Those who are online, please take a like button so that it is visible to me. So give me some encouragement. Yasin and Ramesh, come on, Vidat. And the atom with the large size can easily lose electron, can form cation easily, and vice versa. I just want to say, so ionization energy is inversely proportional to size of the atom. So ये लॉजिक का वजह से जिस एटम का आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी ज़्यादा है, ये लिथियम प्लस इज द size is less, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and cesium is having the less ionization energy because of the large size. So that ease of formation is going to be lithium plus, sodium plus, and potassium plus, rubidium plus, and cesium plus is going to be like this. We already discussed in the previous slide. Are you getting or not? Clear? And talking about cation with inert gas configuration, खास बात है. Inert gas configuration क्या, pseudo inert gas configuration क्या. Inert gas configuration का मतलब जिस आयन में 8 electron in the valency shell is said to be inert gas configuration. And pseudo inert gas configuration, जिस आयन में outermost shell में 18 electrons होना चाहिए. So let us talk about this here. Cation formed must have 8 electrons in its outer shell. Just I want to take you an example here. Calcium, you take a calcium and a 2 plus, its electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p6 and 4s0. So this is your outermost shell. It is having 8 electrons. That is called as inert electron configuration. When you talk about the pseudo inert gas configuration, मान के चलो बच्चों, it's very very important. Most of the students are going to get the doubt at this level. I just want to tell you pseudo inert gas configuration. ये क्या, ये सूडो इनर्ट गैस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन, ये इनर्ट गैस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन के जैसे दिखते हैं लेकिन इनर्ट गैस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है. सो जिंक 2 प्लस, ये डाटा मैं क्या दो, जिंक 2 प्लस है सूडो इनर्ट गैस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. इसका इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन निकाल के दे. इट इज गोइंग टू बी 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d10 and 4s0. And you have look like inert gas configuration बच्चों is very important. It is going to be 2 plus 6 plus 10, 18 electrons का मिला. 18 electrons. Looks like a noble gas, inert gas configuration, but it is not inert gas configuration. मैं क्या बोलना चाहता हूँ, जो आयन इनर्ट गैस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन होगा ये अच्छा तरफ आसानी तरफ से फॉर्म हो सकता है, बट सूडो इनर्ट गैस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन वाला फॉर्म करने का थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है. द आयन विथ द इनर्ट गैस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन कैन बी easily formed as compared to the ion with pseudo inert gas configuration. Hope you understand this concept, right? बच्चों, let us go ahead with this and let us talk about the formation of anion. फिलहाल क्या देखा हम, cation form करना कैसे. So now we are going to see anion form करना कैसे. Okay, just let us focus this. Let us focus this formation of an anion. Now, the ion, the atom with high electron affinity can be easily formed because the electron, high electron affinity का मतलब क्या, ये इलेक्ट्रॉन लेने का टेंडेंसी ज़्यादा होगा, इसी का कारण इलेक्ट्रॉन लेने का संभावना भी ज़्यादा बढ़ जाएगा. So that the atom with high electron affinity can be easily formed as compared to the atoms with low electron affinity. बच्चों, and low charge on the ion. The ion with less charge on it can be easily formed. This particular point is going to be common for both cation and anion, बच्चों. And you can see the formation of F minus is more favored, and then O2 minus is favored than N3 minus, fluoride ion, oxide ion, nitride ion. And also you can see the small atomic size and a non-metal. Non-metal has a tendency to take electron and metal has a tendency to lose electron. That's the reason why usually ionic compounds are formed between a metal and a non-metal. So if the atom is so small, जो आने वाला का इलेक्ट्रॉन न्यूक्लियस के पास होगा ताकि इसका इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन करने का टेंडेंसी भी ज़्यादा होगा. अंडरस्टैंड? सो दैट स्मॉल एटॉमिक साइज atoms, elements with small atomic size has a great tendency to form anions. Talking about anion with inert gas configuration, and the same is going to be followed as far as the cation as well as anion. Hi Abhinav Yadav. So how are you? So take a pen and paper, write these noteworthy points. Abhinav, just like the button. And talking about, I just want to say how cation and anion is formed, and there is a ionic bond between sodium and chlorine that already seen. When you talk about sodium, it is going to have 1s2 and 2s2 and 2p6 and 3s1. So when sodium loses one electron, it is going to give sodium plus an electron. So that sodium plus is going to have neon configuration, right? Similarly, you have, you like button maro beta, Abhinav. Chlorine, you are going to have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p5. इसका इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन के हिसाब से सिर्फ 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं. सो अगर एक इलेक्ट्रॉन यहाँ पर ऐड कर सकते हो ना, सो Cl takes the electron and become Cl minus. So Cl minus का आएगा आर्गन कॉन्फ़िगरेशन का बराबर होगा. ओके, सो दैट हमारा पास तैयार है सोडियम प्लस कैटायन तैयार है एंड Cl माइनस एनायन तैयार है. सो ये दोनों का बीच में क्या होगा? अट्रैक्शन फोर्सेस होगा. ये अट्रैक्शन फोर्सेस की वजह से यू कैन से देयर इज एन आयनिक बॉन्ड. So you can have the fundamental examples between the cation and anion like that. So now my question is, does all ionic compounds do have the 100% ionic properties? No. It is going to be a rapid round for the NEET examination. Fajan rule. यहाँ पे आप फंस जाए, and he is the point where NEET examination pointers will come. Fajan rule. Fajan rule is very, very important, and it is explaining the relative कोवलेंट प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ द आयनिक कंपाउंड। ये जो आयनिक कंपाउंड है ना, आयनिक होगा नहीं, 100% आयनिक हो सकता है, लेकिन 100 से कम भी हो सकता है। दैट इज एक्सप्लेन ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ फाजान रूल। क्या फाजान रूल आपको बोलना चाहता हूं? सो हियर दिस इज अ कैटायन, क्योंकि चांद के जैसे दिख रहे हैं ना, इट इज एनायन, चांद के जैसे था, लेकिन एनायन का जो दिस इज एनायन, दिस इज एनायन, ओके, this is your anion. Let me write, this is your anion and this is your cation. Okay, now what happened in this scenario? The anion has an electron. ये इसका इलेक्ट्रॉन कैटायन खींचने का कोशिश करता, खींचने के बाद कैसे है? ये चांद का जैसे, it look like a moon, now it is looking like a pear. So the deformation of the anion by cation, so that you can see the part of the electron is moving towards the cation, and this is called deformation. This deformation what you call as this is called polarization. So जहां पर polarization ज़्यादा होगा ना, वहां पर covalent character आ सकता है. So the covalent nature is directly proportional to the polarization. जिसमें polarization ज़्यादा है उसमें covalent property भी ज़्यादा होगा. And you can see the cation has the ability to pull the electron, so that it has a polarizing power, and anion has the ability to get deformed, so it has the polarizability. So there are two things, one is a polarizing power, ये cation का property है, another one is a polarizability, ये anion का property है. So दोनों मिलके polarization phenomena निकलेगा. So polarization and covalent character. So the covalent character बढ़ते जाएगा. So Fajan rule says that जहां पर polarization ज़्यादा है वहां पर covalent ज़्यादा होगा. So polarization is inversely proportional to the size of cation. These are the noteworthy points. Everybody take a pen and paper and write it, so that you are going to have the strong command on the inorganic chemistry. So a question cannot be classified directly from one concept from the NEET. NEET 2025 given you a lesson that a question can be given in multiple topics into a single question. So for that you get trained from Infinity Learn YouTube channel from us. So the points which we are giving it directly you can apply, and these are all facts. And so in a group you can say beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, they form a chlorides. So as the size of the cation increases, so you take a compound when you talk about the orders. One, chlorine is a constant, and elements beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium are the variables. When these variables comes, now find out the variables. So size of the cation increases down the group, so that covalent character decreases. क्योंकि कैटायन बढ़ते जाएगा ना, साइज बढ़ते जाएगा तो आयनिक नेचर बढ़ते जाएगा. So the ionic character increases. I just want to show you the simple trick. जहाँ पर small cation है ना, you can see here small cation and big anion. This combination है more ionic होगा, more covalent होगा, more polarization is possible, so more covalent. While you can see here, wherever the cation size is big, anion size is small, that is going to be more ionic combination. And this is a simple trick you can say. Whenever more ionic, more soluble in the water, more covalent, less soluble in the water, you can enter into the question in any ways. Now we can say, grade the polarizing power of beryllium 2+ shows the maximum covalent character in the period. So सोडियम, मैग्नीशियम, अल्यूमिनियम, सिलिकॉन, जिसमें कैटायन का चार्ज बड़ा है उसका कैटायन का चार्ज बड़ा है एंड उसका कोवलेंट नेचर भी ज़्यादा होगा. So size of cation decreases, covalent character increases. Yes, of course. You can say sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, aluminum chloride, silicon tetrachloride. So these are the various way to say the ionic nature and the covalent nature. If you want to just get a question from the NEET examination, directly you can use these covalent and ionic relative nature by using Fajan rule. That's very important. Moving ahead, the feasibility of having some covalent character can be predicted by using Fajan rule. So cation, small size and high charge, is highly polarizing and attracts the electron and anion. So it is going to be more covalent. This combination is going to be more covalent. While you can see, bacho, the large size and the high charge, this is also is going to be highly polarizing, will easily distorted for the anion. That already given you, Abhinav, right? Talking about here, size of the anion does matter. Here you can say calcium fluoride, calcium chloride, calcium bromide, calcium iodide. Calcium is constant and anion is variable. In this scenario, size of anion is increased, covalent character is also increased, and ionic character decreased. Let's follow this charge on the cation as well as anion. For both cases, if charge is more covalent, charge is less covalent and more ionic. And the charge on the cations, you see, sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, aluminum chloride, silicon tetrachloride. Yes, very good. And you can say sodium plus, magnesium 2 plus, aluminum 3 plus and silicon 4 plus. There you are going to see more charge, more covalent, less charge, more ionic. Simple trick, less and more. That is a game changer for the ionic as well as covalent nature. Now इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन जिसमें नोबल गैस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है उसमें आयनिक कैरेक्टर ज़्यादा होगा, जिसमें सूडो नोबल गैस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है उसमें कोवलेंट कैरेक्टर ज़्यादा होगा पोलराइजेशन का हिसाब से. अभी नाउ व्हाट इज सूडो नोबल गैस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन? Noble gas configuration or inert gas configuration, 8 electrons in the valency shell, and pseudo noble gas configuration or pseudo inert gas configuration, 18 electrons in the outermost shell. My dear students, this is a very important, जिसमें ionic character ज़्यादा है, melting point ज़्यादा होगा, कोवलेंट कैरेक्टर ज़्यादा है, मेल्टिंग पॉइंट कम होगा. देखो मैं प्रूव करना चाहता हूँ, सोडियम क्लोराइड इज मोर आयोनिक, मेल्टिंग पॉइंट 800 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड. कॉपर क्लोराइड इज मोर कोवलेंट, सूडो नोबल गैस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन का वजह से इसका मेल्टिंग पॉइंट सिर्फ कम से कम 442 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड का था. अंडरस्टैंड बच्चों? अगर डाउट आना तो चार्ट बॉक्स में आप पूछना है जल्दी. It is a self-explanatory. So copper chloride has more covalent character than sodium chloride. Okay, and talking about, so this is a take a snapshot. Everybody take a snapshot. Everybody, this is an examples that can give you 3, 2, 1. Screenshot. Nikla. Okay, let us solve this. Which of the most ionic? The ion with less charge on it is going to be most ionic, sodium fluoride. Okay, and the correct order of increasing ionic character. So correct order of increasing ionic character, bigger the cation is the more ionic character. Are you getting or not? So like this you are going to see the very good number of questions. Least melting point means more covalent. Least melting point means more covalent. And it is going to be, it is least, more covalent, and you can see the other examples as well. And this is a summary of this. Everybody follow the summary. And the covalent character inversely ionic character, it is a well known fact. Yasin and Ramesh, and covalent character inversely proportional. The melting point covalent character is inversely proportional to solubility in the water. And the covalent character is inversely proportional to the boiling point, and covalent character size of the cation and size of anion and the size of the cation. Covalent character directly proportional to the size of the anion and polarizing power at last. So actually for all reasons the main causative thing is going to be polarizing power. Abhinav, what is polarizing power? Okay, so let us follow the properties. Lattice energy. Lattice energy. So what is the meaning of lattice? Ionic solid crystal is said to be lattice, and this is the amount of energy. Lattice energy of an ionic crystal is the amount of energy released when one molecule, mole of ionic solid is formed from its constituent gaseous ions. That is called as lattice energy. And you can say sodium plus, I just want to write it here, sodium plus is a cation which is formed from the gaseous state, and Cl minus is formed from the gaseous state, and it is formed sodium chloride which is in the solid state, and little bit of heat is released. This heat is what is called as the lattice energy. And this is also called as, and this is denoted by U, and according to Coulomb's law it is given this lattice energy, and it is an exothermic process, and it is equal to K and cation and anion charge upon the square, and it is given as the distance between two ions. Okay, जिसमें lattice energy ज़्यादा है, bond stability भी ज़्यादा होगा, stability भी ज़्यादा होगा. This is very important, noteworthy point, and it is going to be the compounds of ion with higher charges have the higher energies than the compound ions with lower charges. So here aluminum nitrate has aluminum plus 3 charge है, and magnesium oxide has a magnesium plus 2 charge है, and sodium fluoride has a sodium plus 1 charge है. जिसमें चार्ज बड़ा है उसमें lattice energy भी ज़्यादा होगा. That is very very important. And properties of ionic compounds, बच्चों. So if you have any question, you will be getting a question based on the properties of ionic compound. Hi Rajeshri, hello, how are you? So follow the lesson and please click the like button. So okay, properties of ionic compound. Hardness and brittleness. Ionic compounds are crystalline solids and hard and brittle crystalline solids, because the ionic compounds, the ionic compounds, ions are held together by strong electrostatic force of attraction repeatedly and gives rise three-dimensional crystal lattice. When you just touch and you apply pressure, and the crystal is going to separate its ions into randomly formed, so they are brittle, right beta? They are brittle. And these crystals, due to the movement of layers of crystals on the other layer by application of external pressure, that is the reason why they are brittle, they are fragile. I'm fine, please ek bar like mara beta. And they have strong electrostatic force of attraction between the cation and the anion. That's the reason why the ionic compounds has this high melting point and boiling point. As I mentioned, sodium chloride has 800 degrees centigrade, right? Okay, so like mara नहीं mara, मैं यहाँ पर देख सकता हूँ कितने likes आ रहे हैं. Okay, so the melting point and the boiling points of the ionic compounds are very high. The melting point of sodium chloride is 803 degrees centigrade, right? And the high value are due to the strong attraction forces. Yeah, you are just typing like, no, you just click the like button, so the number हमको पता चलेगा. Okay, so high value due to the strong electrostatic force of attraction. ये strong electrostatic force attraction separate करने के लिए ज़्यादा energy इस्तेमाल करना पड़ता है, इसलिए thank you Rajeshri, and it is going to give you high melting point. You are going to see how strong it is. Okay, you have to separate the sodium and chlorine separately. For that 803 degrees centigrade should be given ताकि the table salt can be molten. And talking about the solubility, ionic compounds are polar because of the oppositely charged ions. Therefore, ionic compounds are readily soluble in water. So what happens when sodium chloride is solid is put in the water? So if you put in the water, it is going to give you sodium plus aqueous and Cl minus aqueous. So along with that, you have hydration energy. Ionic compounds can be soluble in the water because if the compound is soluble, the condition is if hydration energy is greater than lattice energy, then it is going to be soluble. If lattice energy is greater than hydration energy, it is going to be insoluble. Understand? And electrical conductivity. You know, the free ions that are available can migrate from one place to another. Therefore, ionic compounds are very good conductors. You know, ionic compound sodium chloride, okay, and in the solid state and in the molten state and in this aqueous state. I just want to use three superlative terminologies. Nando, Medico NEET Aspirant 2026. Good afternoon, Nando. So you attended my initial classes and the repeated classes also. Nowadays you are not seen. Why so? I remember your name. Okay. So like Mara Akbar, come on. So in the solid state, the bad conductors of electricity. Why bad conductors of electricity? Because no free ions are there. Molten state, good conductor of electricity. Because free ions are there. And they are excellent conductor of electricity in aqueous state. You are going to see this kind of things for the assertion as well as reasoning type questions, right? And ionic solids are very good conductor of electricity in molten state and excellent conductor of electricity in aqueous state, but they never conduct electricity in the solid state merely. Okay, yes, very good Rajeshri, thank you. And ionic reactions. The reactions participated by the ionic compounds are super fast. You take sodium chloride reacted with AgNO3. It is going to form AgCl and NaNO3. How much time this reaction takes place, you know? How much time? Yeah, I remember Nandu. You are the one who used to give the answers so rapidly. And after this, I am going to present you some questions, my dear children. You are really experiencing the real-time NEET examination questions. Stay tuned, and this takes near about 10 power minus 12 seconds. Say, pi ko second mein reaction khatam hoga. है ना? So, the space isomerism. Ionic bond has no direction. So, ये space isomerism होता है क्या? The ionic compounds has no direction, so that they don't show the stereo isomerism that you study in organic chemistry. So ionic compounds do not show space isomerism. Reason, ionic bond has no direction, non-directional. बच्चों आप जो पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं ना अच्छा तरफ करो. So space isomerism is not explained. So you can have the assertion reasoning and reasoning. Assertion reasoning type questions are there in the NEET examination, and right from the inception of the concept itself you need to work on it. ठीक है बेटा? Now I just want to talk about some questions. Nando, it's your turn. Rajeshri, here is the question. Is the formation of anion is favored by? I want to see the guys. I want to see the chart box as well. What is the answer? To form the anion, it should be small size, it should have high electron affinity. है ना? It should have a less charge on it. So any one of the factors that can favor here, you can see the answer is going to be high value of electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy. Understand? Clear? Fine? Any doubt? Now, if you have any doubt, Nandu, come on. Rajeshri. Now, another one. You want to say, अरे इसका आंसर 4 होगा राजेश्वरी. Not 1. लोअर वैल्यू ऑफ आयनेशन एनर्जी. एनायन फॉर्म करने के लिए इलेक्ट्रॉन पकड़ना है, आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी इलेक्ट्रॉन निकालने के लिए. गॉट इट? यस, इट इज 4. दैट्स गुड. एंड अगले क्वेश्चन कौन देना है? विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज इजिली फॉर्म्ड? विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज इजिली फॉर्म्ड? सो कम ऑन बच्चों, again you want to say 4. Again you want to say 4. So कैल्शियम क्लोराइड, इसका फॉर्मूला में मैं लिखना चाहता हूं कैल्शियम क्लोराइड, कैल्शियम ब्रोमाइड एंड potassium chloride and potassium bromide. So which of the following is easily formed? The easily formed one can be the one which has the less charge on it, so that this and this can be removed, right? And the one which has the potassium chloride has the more electron affinity as compared to the bromide. So I just want to say here it is going to be option 3 is the correct answer. Understand? Nando, it is going to be option 3, potassium chloride. Chlorine has a more electron affinity. Hey, Kina? Yeah, don't worry, don't retract the messages, right? And yes, now number of electron transferred from aluminum atom during the bond formation in aluminum fluoride. Answer? Waiting for you. Waiting for you. Answer? When aluminum fluoride is formed, Al is going to form Al 3 plus and 3 electrons, and F is going to take an electron, gives rise F minus. So take 3 electrons, so that you are going to get aluminum plus 3 fluorines gives rise AlF3. AlF3. Got it? Now my answer is going to be 3. Just 3 electrons. So that aluminum 3 plus and F minus and F minus and F minus. You are going to see the ionic bond like this. It has no direction. Right? One more question. The compound with highest melting point. Highest melting point means most ionic कौन सा है? Most ionic इसमें कौन सा होगा? The most ionic one here it is going to be sodium fluoride, sodium chloride, sodium bromide, sodium iodide. जिस आयन का साइज कम है more ionic होगा. My answer is going to be 1. The answer is going to be 1. Are you getting or not? Clear? Janishiga, you got it as 4. How it is 4? It is going to be more covalent. Find it is more ionic. More ionic compound will have more melting point. Correct yourself. These questions are prepared to make the students fundamentally strong. I want you to make fundamentally strong. Right? Now let us talk about among the following the one with the greatest ionic character. फिर भी to make more ionic, it is the combination is going to be more ionic. So इसमें कैटायन का कौन सा साइज बड़ा? सोडियम, पोटेशियम, सीजियम, रुबिडियम is going to have the biggest size. So my answer is going to be 3. No, cesium chloride. Cesium chloride. It is not rubidium cesium. It is going to be cesium. Got it? लिथियम, सोडियम, पोटेशियम, रुबिडियम, सीजियम. सीजियम सबसे बड़ा होगा. सीजियम सबसे बड़ा होगा. ओके. और एक क्वेश्चन है अकॉर्डिंग टू फजान रूल. फिर भी फजान रूल का घूमते रहते. सो चिल्ड्रन, जनिशिगम, Okay, according to Fajan rule, the covalent nature of ionic compounds is favored by. It was the actual AIMS 1999 question. So you are solving AIMS question. So now no AIMS now. Okay, so let us see the bag. So what option can give you the right insight for this? It is the one which is having the small cation and large anion. I already told you this combination is going to be more ionic. This is going to be more ionic, and you can say this combination is going to be more covalent. This combination is going to be more covalent. Yes, this is correct. Now, bacho, here even though it is very important, even though crystal radii of both potassium and silver are almost same, the melting point of AgCl is only 455 degrees centigrade. How it is possible? Because silver has pseudo noble gas configuration, which has the more polarization, gives you the more covalent character. The answer for this is going to be AgCl has more covalent character than KCl due to greater polarization power of silver ion. So this is the framing of the question. You can see you will be asked to read the entire question, and you have very less time in the NEET examination. Answer karna kaisa? That makes a student who is actually preparing for NEET examination. So NEET examination preparation, it is on us. We will make you to give you the super tricks during examination preparation, and it is not a time pass sessions, and you guys are doing the best for the examination. And here the order of covalent nature of aluminum halides lies like this. Okay, and according to Fajan rule it is. Why this is? So this objective oriented question gives you the insight of how and why it is doing, right? So it all due to Ali3 has a more polarizing power. So that answer comes to be here, the polarizability of halide ion increases as size of anion increases, and the polarizing power of aluminum 3+ is very high. So that is the answer for this. So proper reasoning type questions you have to use aadat rakhna ke koshish karo. So I just want always suggest the students to do this only. And polarization is a distortion shape of anion by adjacently placed cation. Which of the following statement is true? Again this question is focusing on Fajan rule. This question is focusing on Fajan rule. So while this is given, you are going to get, while this is cation, polarization is maximum but by cation with high charge. है ना? So cation with low charge will have the less polarizing power, cation with high charge will have the high polarizing power. So like that, you tell me the last question of the day. It is for you. You tell me the last question of the day. Which of the following has high polarization power? Based on the previous question you tell me. Bacho, based on the previous question you tell me which has the high polarization. So जिस cation में चार्ज ज़्यादा हो वो cation का polarizing power ज़्यादा होगा. Yes, exactly. Janishika, you have given the correct answer. So my dear students, और एक क्वेश्चन बचा है ना तो देखना चाहता हूँ. Okay, now let us finish this question and we will end up the session. Okay, come on. Final question, who is going to give the answer? Janishika, maximum covalent character is, जिसमें चार्ज ज़्यादा है उसमें क्या कोवलेंट कैरेक्टर भी बढ़ते जाएगा. चार्ज सोडियम प्लस, मैग्नीशियम 2+, अल्यूमिनियम 3+, अल्यूमिनियम 3+. सो ये दोनों हटा दिया. इसमें आयन का साइज भी बड़ा है. योर आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी करेक्ट. Janishika, you did well, and my dear children, and the answer for this question is going to be 4 as you mentioned, right? So children, and we are done from our side. I really appreciate your participation, and for such more type of sessions, please stay tuned and please like this session. Everybody who are online, please like the session and share with your friends and subscribe to Infinity Land NEET YouTube channel. Okay, thank you very much. See you, and we'll meet with more stuff in the next sessions. Thank you very much. Bye bye.